We got Caitlin, we got Paige, we got Juju. Who do you think will shine the brightest?
Well, that's exactly why I'm not picking Caitlin Clark.
Matt, that girl Juju, she is the real deal.
Juju Watkins ain't the same as Caitlin Clark. Playing in Los Angeles at USC is not the same as playing at Iowa. Well, Caitlin Clark was in Iowa, in the middle of nowhere. So she built a huge following right there in the state of Iowa, her home state.
The mainstream sports media tried to fabricate a rivalry, but the actual data tells a completely different tale. Caitlin Clark isn't just outshining Juju Watkins, she's operating on an entirely different planet.
ESPN exposed again. Ratings down 22%. Attendance down 30%. No Caitlin Clark effect. No dice.
And Juju is a bigger baller than Caitlin Clark.
They will regret that they took Caitlin Clark number one.
It's not racism that's keeping everybody in Los Angeles away from Juju Watkins basketball games. You have to dominate at home.
Caitlin is a supernova, and Juju probably is a better player.
Support Juju the way y'all supported Caitlin Clark. If you don't, you're racist. It's not fake.
While Clark is breaking attendance records and drawing millions of eyeballs every time she steps on the court, Watkins is struggling to spark that same kind of interest. The gap between them isn't just wide, it's cosmic.
Needle mover in women's basketball, college or pro, is Caitlin Clark.
Yet the media keeps force-feeding us the idea that Watkins is the next big thing. But let's ask the obvious question. If that's true, why are her games half empty? Why do ratings nosedive when Clark isn't playing? The truth practically screams through the silence of those seats.
Yo, man, we should be talking about her the way we talked about Caitlin Clark last year.
Juju gets covered all the time. I cover Juju. I talk about Juju. It's great for the game. The idea that Juju and Paige have not been covered is just
Let's not sugarcoat it. Juju Watkins is not Caitlin Clark. She's not even close. And the numbers back it up.
ESPN notes that the viewership for the first round was up 43% from 2023, with an average of 257,000 people watching the first 2 days, but it leaves out the record-breaking viewership from last year, where viewership averaged 469,000 in the 2024 first round. That number was boosted by a whopping 3.2 million tuning in to Caitlin Clark and Iowa's 91-65 win over Holy Cross. The difference between this year and last year represents a nearly 22% drop. ESPN is literally scared. They can't stand Caitlin Clark.
Clark isn't just a breakout rookie. She's a full-blown cultural phenomenon. Her influence has single-handedly skyrocketed ticket sales for the WNBA broken broadcast viewership records and forced major sports networks to completely reevaluate how they cover women's basketball.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT.
She signed my jersey. So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball, period.
She just brings so much passion to the game, and look at all these people that just want to come and see her.
It is no secret that the Indiana Fever are the most popular team in the WNBA. It is good for the entire WNBA.
Meanwhile, Watkins' momentum is entirely media-driven. The narrative is being constructed in press rooms, not by fan excitement or actual numbers. Just look at the attendance. Clark's games are packed to the rafters. Scalpers are getting thousands. For her tickets, that's never happened before in women's hoops.
Women's March Madness attendance drops 30%. Attendance for the opening rounds of the Women's March Madness dropped from record numbers seen the previous 2 years when Caitlin Clark spiked interest in the tournament while leading Iowa to consecutive Final Fours. What the hell happened to 2024? Where's those numbers? Why are you not talking about it? We know why, because they don't want to come out and just admit the ratings are real down without Caitlin Clark.
Contrast that with Watkins and her games with rows of empty seats. The energy is minimal. The hype doesn't match the reality. Clark's WNBA debut drew over 17,000 fans, a new franchise record for the Indiana Fever. And that's just the regular season. Even her preseason appearances exceeded expectations in crowd turnout.
If I was the WNBA, I would have considered a separate television package to a network on just Caitlin Clark games. I would have had two packages, the WNBA package, and then a separate, let's say, 15 to 18 game Caitlin Clark package.
Where's that kind of frenzy for Juju nowhere? Her games just don't generate the same buzz.
Juju is a bigger baller than Caitlin Clark. I said it.
I said
it.
Yeah.
I said it. And it has nothing to do with black and the white. The statistics say what everybody needs to be knowing. Juju is a better athlete than Caitlin Clark.
Show us the stats that you're referencing. I mean, come on.
Now let's shift gears to television viewership. Clark's NCAA championship game pulled in an astronomical 187 million viewers, making it the most watched women's basketball game of all time.
Whether you like the Indiana Fever or not, whether you like Caitlin Clark or not, it has gotten to the point where we can no longer deny the fact that they are the biggest draw in the WNBA, and they proved that all of last season.
She consistently outrates NBA games, which is unheard of. She's transcended the sport, no longer just a basketball player, but a mainstream celebrity and sports icon.
The league wasn't ready for her last year. They just weren't prepared. Yeah. She was prepared.
She's had a full offseason now to rest.
No. She's going to be great. The league just didn't know what to.
And Juju is not even in the same conversation. Her games haven't generated record-breaking viewership or sparked national water cooler talk. There's no viral buzz, no mainstream crossover, and no real pull.
Sold out games after game after game. She had a connection with those people that was special. She carried that connection and that fan base to the WNBA. She dominated. Oh, she's being denied something. That y'all better treat her like Caitlin Clark. So how can we treat her like Caitlin Clark? She's in a different body of water. Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp both played the card of, we should be talking about Juju Watkins the same way we talked about Caitlin.
The media's attempt to put her in the same tier as Clark is transparent and frankly desperate. If Watkins were truly at Clark's level, we wouldn't need this constant marketing push. The numbers would speak loud and clear, but they don't. And that says everything. They're trying to write a rivalry with no substance behind it. The comparison falls flat the moment you look at the data. Watkins doesn't bring in. The crowds doesn't light up the ratings and isn't the household name they want her to be.
Girl, that young lady y'all got at USC right now, Juju.
Incredible.
Hey, I tell all them bitter, angry girls in the WNBA who are upset about Caitlin Clark, move over more, because Juju is special. Number one, I would give a shout out to Caitlin for what she's did for women basketball the last 3 years, man. It's been incredible. And I wish those women would embrace it. But, Matt, that girl, Juju, she is the real deal.
She's going to be bigger than Caitlin Clark. And I don't even know if that's possible for what Caitlin Clark has done for women's basketball.
Clark is a generational player. She shifts culture, commands attention, and elevates everyone around her. Watkins, she's talented. Sure. But we've seen players like her before. There's nothing revolutionary happening here. So if we're going to compare them, let's do it the right way. Let's look at stats, skills, and impact side by side. And when we do that, the truth becomes painfully obvious. Juju Watkins isn't Caitlin Clark, not now and not ever.
LA is racist. They just won't support Juju Watkins. LA, did they support Kobe Bryant? Did they support Magic Johnson? Yes, they did. The explanation is deeper than race.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a scorer, she's an offensive juggernaut. She left college basketball having shattered the entire NCAA scoring record across both men's and women's games with over 3,900 career points and averaging nearly 32 per game in her final year. She wasn't just scoring. She was doing it with efficiency, poise, and style. Her range is absolutely ridiculous. Pulling up from 30 feet became routine. Clark's deep ball accuracy forced defenders to pick her up the moment she crossed half, court spacing the floor like no one else in the women's game ever has.
He has to be so phenomenal that 10, 12, 15,000 people are coming to her games in Los Angeles. Juju Watkins is in LA. There's a lot to do in Los Angeles. She should have gone somewhere where she could be the big fish in the small pond. Who knows if she's better than Caitlin Clark? She plays a game that's more female Kobe Bryant than female Steph Curry. Caitlin Clark is female Steph Curry.